This one automation trick has made me millions, and I'm gonna show you exactly how to do it. So I'm gonna use the tool called ActiveCampaign, and we're gonna use that to provide custom touches to prospects, making them think it's coming from the phone of an individual salesperson. Now, the unique thing here is it's gonna be a unique phone number to that salesperson. That salesperson's gonna get those texts, but you can also call back. So we use this for things like calendar reminders, pre-call introductions, and post-call follow-ups. This is really strong because they're ultra personalized to that individual salesperson with links to their profiles and things like that, but also allows that person to have one-on-one touches and communications, making them feel like they've gotten that extra mile. And please stick around to the end because I'm gonna give you a lead list of over 10,000 executives where you can go use that to make your first sale today. So the first tool you're gonna need is ActiveCampaign. So you'll check out ActiveCampaign we have here. The next thing you're gonna need is SalesMessage. So SalesMessage is the tool that's actually gonna do the SMS. It's gonna allow you to send text messages, but the thing that's unique about SalesMessage versus most other automated SMS tools is you can actually call it, you can do call routing, you can do a whole bunch of fun things in there, and you can use that with ActiveCampaign to send from specific numbers based on variables. And I'll show you how to do that in a little bit. So the next piece you're gonna need is Zapier. We're gonna show you how to use that automation to get the information over from that calendar booking software. And that last piece is the calendar booking software. We do use Calendly. These are just the tools that I actually use and I found the best. Calendly for us has the highest conversion rates. So the first piece here is understanding basically someone's gonna book an appointment on Calendly. That Calendly is then going to hit Zapier. Zapier is the one that's doing the automations for us, and that's going to basically trigger all the information to be populated into custom fields in ActiveCampaign. Now those custom fields and variables are what allow us to personalize everything and make it hyper specific and targeted, and that way, not one company number, but every salesperson has their own number and they can handle their own leads, and you don't have to worry about reminding people. It's just all there and they can call it and it'll go directly to that person's phone number. So you're gonna set up your SalesMessage account. Again, this is one of the only ones that I know that does the two-way SMS and integrates really well with ActiveCampaign. So once you create a number here, I'm not gonna go through all those steps, but you'll create a number, you'll go into your inbox, and you're gonna have a very unique ID code. So this is what our ID code looks like right here. You can copy it, you can save it, and then what we need to do is you're gonna make a spreadsheet for every salesperson, anyone on your team. This is test data, but what we have here is their email. So the reason why their email is so important is we're going to do a lookup using Zapier. So step one, set up your account with SalesMessage, create your first number. You're gonna go into inboxes, settings, and then you're gonna grab this custom ID. You have to copy it because it's actually different than this. That's just what we call the number. And then you're gonna put that into a spreadsheet. So salesperson, here's their custom ID number. Obviously I put number there, it's a little different. You'll put their phone number and any other information you want to have on them. So we use their Calendly link so we can send reminders and follow-ups to rebook and reschedule, things like that. And then we use things like their ActiveCampaign number and their Asana number so we can do other automations, make tasks, and use that. We've also used LinkedIn, Facebook, other tools. I took all that out just to keep this a little bit more simple. So the next thing is you're going to need that Calendly. So you'll set up a calendar, you'll set up, basically we have round robins, and so that's why this is so important, is because it's, basically what a round robin is if you have 5 salespeople, it'll pick one who has the best availability, or you can do specific routing now with Calendly, so maybe the best fit, and when it feeds it out, it'll spit out data about who it was assigned to. So then you're gonna go into Zapier and kind of walk through this. So there's a whole bunch here. You don't need all of this. You're gonna have your initial zap that'll trigger with Calendly, but the difficult part is the lookup. And so what we're doing here is we're actually going to that spreadsheet, and Calendly gives us the email of who it's assigned to. So we're basically looking up that email address. So right now we're looking up Justin's email address on that spreadsheet. Once we find that email address, so you're gonna get all that custom information and you're going to be able to put it into ActiveCampaign. So what you have to do in ActiveCampaign is create custom fields. So you'll go into contacts and then fields, and you'll be able to create as many fields as you want. So you'll see we have several under sales. And so we have full name, email, inbox number, salesperson's notes, all of this information. And a lot of it can get fed in from this lookup because anything you have here can be fed in through this lookup. So think about personal social media, think about a bio about them. You can put all that into a custom field, so when they get assigned a salesperson, they also have all that information about the salesperson, and then you can use that in automations. So that's actually the most difficult part right here, is creating that spreadsheet, creating the initial trigger. So I'll pull that up again just so you can see it. So the initial trigger here is just a Calendly one. As soon as they book a call. All right, so it's gonna pull in that salesperson's email address, and then that's what you're doing to do that lookup and trigger everything to end up into, once you have it, you're gonna add it to ActiveCampaign through these custom fields. Now, that's the hard part for this. The other piece of it, which takes one more step, is doing those Calendly reminders. So Calendly offers reminders when it comes to their own, they'll do SMS reminders. But the big issue with that is if someone texts back and says, hey, I can't make it, that doesn't go anywhere. And if someone calls that number and says, tries to get in contact, that also doesn't go anywhere. So we had to fix that issue because we were having people say, oh, I canceled by text, or I tried to call that number and it didn't work. And those are a lot of personalized touches that you're missing. And it's so important to get every single touch, especially for these high value leads, especially for high ticket. So we'll show you how to do that in a minute, but I wanna show you these automations first. So this first one is meet our salesperson. So basically what it's doing is once you have all that information in here, this is a little complicated, but you can actually basically just do this last step. So we have a catch-all step here. Okay, so I'll show you exactly what this looks like. So this is basically a custom SMS tool. So this is the SalesMessage integration right into ActiveCampaign. And so you have the prospect's phone number, and then this is the salesperson message ID. So the nice thing about this is you saw that big automation before. You only need to really do this one piece, and you can use variables to fill out the rest of it. So we do some custom images and stuff like that you can't do with variables. That's why we have a longer series. But you can fill in a lot of details, their bio, their information. But really this first message is just saying, hey, we're so excited to meet you. My name's Scott. I'll be your account executive. I'm looking forward to talking to you. If you have any questions, please reach out to this number. You can text or call anytime. And that is that first personal touch. They get that about 30 minutes after they book a call. The intention of 30 minutes is that it looks like someone got an email, they had time to go respond and reach out to them. So it's still timely, it's really condensed, especially if their call isn't for 2 or 3 days. We wanna get as many touch points in that are not overly aggressive and really feel like someone's actually reaching out and they can build a relationship, especially if they text back and say, hey, thanks so much, really looking forward to talking with you. By the way, can you send me over X? And so then that salesperson can go send over X, whatever that information needs to be. So that's what it looks like. We do a follow-up email as well with custom personalization, a link to their custom video, which we can do through a URL, and information like that. And you can have it come from their email just by using, again, any information that's in this spreadsheet. So you can keep going and make it really big, and any information that's important to you in that company, it can basically be stored here and then looked up at any time through Zapier. So the next automation we do is that post-call follow-up. So our team fills out a short form that triggers another automation. So they're gonna put in a proposal and all of these details, and basically the system will do a lookup again. It'll confirm it's the same salesperson that did the post-call form, and then it'll trigger more custom personalizations. But the only thing I wanna show you here, so again, it works the same way with, this is our catch-all at the bottom, and it's the advanced SMS. So it'll pull their phone number in again, and basically allows them to have a personal touch. And this message is just saying, hey, thank you so much for your time today. I wanted to make sure you had my phone number. You received the email I just sent you. So this part was really important because every once in a while your emails go to spam. We actually, a couple years ago, had our DMARC records set up incorrectly and all of our emails were going to spam. And that's when we set up this automation, and that was because we wanted to make sure that they went into their spam folder, pulled their email out, and saw it and kind of recognized that we had sent that. Now we don't have the same issue with spam, but just in case it goes into a promotion folder or something like that, you want to make sure that they know you sent the email, and ideally you trigger them to respond. If you could just confirm you got that email, and then they say confirmed, you get another touch point where they are buying into what you're doing. And as many times as you can get someone to say yes or confirm or have a positive experience with you, the better. So that's the big part of those automations. The next one, in the last piece of this, is replacing the Calendly automations, those SMSs, with custom ones from SalesMessage. So basically this Zapier works exactly the same way. We're pulling in initial information. We have some conditioning things that we do. We do a filter to make sure that it's the right funnel that's going on, because we run multiple offers. Then we're gonna do some formatting here. So basically what we're looking for is that date within 24 hours or is it longer than 24 hours? Because we have two different automations that run here. One is, if they book something 8 hours in advance, they're obviously not gonna get a 24-hour reminder, and that kind of breaks things down. So you're gonna do a conditional path here, and one is after 24 hours and one is within 24 hours. And I'll just show you quickly what this looks like. so you guys can copy it. So based on this condition right here, is it greater than 0 or is it less than 0? And this will probably take some playing around, so take a screenshot of this, just set it up this way, and you don't have to worry about it. This condition took us a while to figure out. And then what you're gonna do is you're going to do a delay. So this will delay until a specific time based on the way it's outputted and formatted. And I can show you the format right here. So this is reformatting all the information for us. So you do need to go through all of these steps. It's again, a little bit of a pain, but it works really well when it's done. And then all we're doing here is adding a tag. So this is adding a tag into our system, and this funnel works the exact same way, where it's looking information up and it's getting it down to trigger 1 hour beforehand. And so those are the two strategies. This triggers 1 hour beforehand, and then it'll put a tag in there, and then it'll go into our automation. Now again, this is a lot of work, but the idea is the ultra personalization of these messages is what's helping, especially when it comes to people calling and canceling. So people cancel, reschedule, you don't want to miss those because you're going to miss a lead. And then the advantage is when you set this up properly, if for some reason they don't show up, we do Zoom calls. If they don't show up to that Zoom call, then you're able to call them, and they already have, it'll basically show, because you've texted them in the past, they'll say, hey, you know, Scott might be calling, or might be Scott calling, versus an unknown number or something like that. So it helps a lot. And then coming soon is voicemail drops that'll be built into this. Excited to use that. SalesMessage is just rolling that out now. But basically it works the same way. Now you can take all of those conditionings. So, and then just the trigger here is that tag that we talked about, and it's set up so it can go into multiple times. And we do have some stuff down at the bottom if they canceled. So we set a goal here, basically call canceled, that will take them out, and then it removes them to an automation that makes sure they're not in any of these funnels. Again, more advanced, but if you're willing to take the time, super powerful. And as I promised, I have a lead list of over 10,000 business executives that's in the description. And so the best way to do that is watch my other videos on how to send cold emails. So there's one about how to set up an email address. So you don't want to do that from your business email. You want to use a separate one. We use a tool called Instantly, and then the copy and how you set up your offer is so important. I do have other videos in there. So go to make sure to look at my lead gen channel. And yeah, I appreciate everything. If you guys have questions on any of this and don't understand, please leave a comment. Ask me how to do something. I'll do more videos and specific parts of it in detail, because I know this is a lot of information. And please make sure to subscribe. Thank you.